checkpoints set up along the highway. We might or might not encounter some of those today. You would see guys in white or blue tops, black pants. They are from the traffic department, checking for license registrations of vehicles, drivers, insurance. Very important here in Belize. You could probably pass through a checkpoint without a license, but not without insurance. So that is how important it is here as well. People from customs, immigration. We do have people traveling from Mexico, from Guatemala, passing through our country. That is why we refer to this highway as an international highway, because people do pass through Belize. And so they would be checking for illegal goods, contraband stuff, illegal immigrants as well. So that is what those checkpoints would be set up for from time to time. Any questions before I continue? Sometimes I forget to, you get carried away and you forget to give you guys. So if at any time you just raise your hands and ask your questions. Or is this tour based on getting to Shunantunich, climb that very tall structure there, then you stay away from the gym for like a week? You're gonna remember Belize tomorrow. Once you climb the structure today, you're gonna remember Belize tomorrow. Especially if you don't, or maybe you were working the stairs on the ship, so you are already in good shape. But apart from that, you're gonna remember us tomorrow. You're gonna feel it all tomorrow. So a little bit more about our history. A lot of people haven't heard about Belize before they came here. Some of them just heard about it while taking the cruise. They knew that they were gonna stop in a place called Belize. But a lot of folks know British Honduras, and it's the same place. British Honduras, Belize, it's the same place. So maybe in schools you may have heard a little bit about a place called British Honduras, and then now you're hearing about Belize. We changed our name in the year 1973, and somehow we forgot to inform everybody. So that is why some people don't really know about where Belize is, or what is British Honduras and Belize is the same. So before we were even called British Honduras, it was just the Bay of Honduras. Pirates, buccaneers, those were the type of people that would come, settle along the coast, leave, and from time to time different sets of people made their presence here. So it was the Bay of Honduras. And then they had there was this battle between the Spaniards and the British. At first, the Spaniards, they passed through Belize. They were in search of gold and silver mines. When they didn't find any of that, they left. And then they had the British who came along, logwood cutters at the time, and they too were searching for gold here. When they didn't find that, they were about to leave, but they found something very valuable. That was logwood, what you might call indigo wood. At the time, they extracted dye from it, and they were exporting it to England. So they were making very good money from that. But then synthetic dye came about, and the demand for logwood became less. But when, just before they gave up, they found mahogany. Now you all know how very valuable mahogany is. Belize had it in abundance. So when they started exporting mahogany in the form of lumber to England, then they became very wealthy people. When the Spaniards saw them making all this money from what was called red gold at the time, the mahogany, they wanted Belize back. So that is when they started fighting, battling over Belize between the British and the Spaniards. In 1798, they fought the last battle known to us today as the Battle of St. George's Key. And what happened is the British won the battle. They colonized Belize, and that is why we speak English today, because of that reason. So that is how we became an English-speaking country. Now, in the year of 1981, we gained our independence from Great Britain. So we're quite young, quite a young country. Next month, in a couple days, like a week from now, next week actually, we should start a lot of activities, celebrations, parties in our country for like 21 days. So carnivals from time to time, uniform parades. We celebrate the 10th of September as the Battle of St. George's Key. As for the 21st of September, that is our Independence Day. So next week there should be a lot happening within our country. From the school children, you would see police officers, people from the defense force, everybody just parading along. There are block parties set out for night and weekends. They would block off some streets, have some fun, and that happens throughout the entire country, not only in one place. So our festive month would be September. If you ever want to see how locally we party here, that's a good time to come to our country, September. So as unlike most other countries, we just had to beg and beg for years for independence. We didn't have to fight for it. So that is how we got our independence. As for the Queen Elizabeth II, she is still head of state for us. So she is still depicted on our currency today. We have the $2 bill, a 5, a 10, a 20, a 50, and a $100 bill. They come in different color. If you're from Canada or you've seen the Canadian currency, it's similar to theirs. You have okay, I just borrowed Gustavo's lunch money. So I don't want to buy him lunch, so just please send back his lunch money for me. That's a $5 note going down, and this one is a $2. You'll see the Queen. When you turn the $2 note around, you're gonna see the different Mayan structures, just a few of them found in our country. You're gonna see on one side our national symbols there. So just take a closer look at it, and then you keep passing it. Speaking about the national symbols of Belize, when we gained our independence, like most other countries, we were asked to choose some national symbols. So we chose the mahogany tree to be our national tree. That today it's protected by law here, so if you have one on your property and you need to cut it down for whatever reason, you need a permit from the forestry department. It takes like 60 to 80 years for one of those trees to fully mature. So when you cut one down, you have to replant two in place of that one. The tapir or tapir, that's our national animal. It's also shown on the $2 and the $5 notes. It has a snout like that of an anteater. Locally we call it mountain cow, but it's actually related to a horse or rhinoceros. It could go up to 600 pounds. It's the largest land mammal within Central America today. It's a vegetarian, but we're not allowed to hunt them, so they are also protected here. They're very strong swimmers. Let's say we're out in the forest and we see one of them and they sense danger from us. You would just see them go underneath the river and come up on the other side. So that's how they get away from danger. Then we also have the black orchid. Very beautiful. Sometimes we get to see them at the site where we're headed. There are one or two of them around. They bloom year round, especially where the rainforest is. They're a dark purple in color, very tiny but very beautiful. And then we also have the keelbill toucan, or the Fruit Loops guy. He's very colorful, beautiful. If you're lucky, you get to see them while you're out in the country, sometimes in pairs, but very seldom. If you live